Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Learning Path. This is Dr. B. Meena, Associate Professor, Head Department of Commerce, and Vice Principal, Shift 1 from Petition College of Arts and Science. In this video, you are going to learn how to prepare a primary distribution summary. What is primary distribution of overheads? It is the process of allocating and apportioning the cost on a suitable basis to all the departments or cost centers. What is the basis of apportionment? How we can apportion the expenses to production and service departments. So the basis is suitable basis have to be adapted for allocation and apportionment of overheads in order to ascertain the correct cost of cost centers and cost units. Let me check one problem. After looking at the basis of apportionment of overheads or of all the expenses. See, in the left hand side column, I list out the expenses, and right hand side, what is the exact basis for apportioning for these expenses. The first item, rent. So whenever you have these expenses, you need to apportion between the production and service department on the basis of floor area. Lighting, if it is given, means you can apportion. The first option is the light points. If the light points information is not available, then you can proceed to take the basis as floor area. If light points is not available, then only you can select the basis as floor area. The next is power. So for apportioning the expenses of power, we can take the basis as kilowatt hours or HP of plant, hours power of plant. For depreciation of plant and machinery, you can take the base hour as machine hours. If the machine hours are not available, then you will consider the value of plant as the basis for apportioning depreciation of plant and machinery for all the production and service departments. Next, insurance of plant and machinery, you need to take the basis as insurable value of plant and machinery. Next, insurance of stock, you can take the insurable value of stock as the basis. For welfare expenses, you need to apply the logic for whom the welfare expenses incurred in the factory for the employees. So we can take the basis as number of employees. And next, material handling charges, value of material we can take as a basis. Indirect material we can take basis as direct material. Indirect wages, for indirect wages we can take the basis as direct wages. So by looking at this slide, you will come to know if the expenses were given for the company, for the whole company, how this total expenses of like rent, lighting, power can be distributed among the production and service department, and what suitable basis we need to follow. Okay, then we'll have a discussion on some more expenses. Supervision, we can take the basis number of employees. Repairs to plant, value of plant. Insurance of building, we can take the basis value of building or the floor area. If the value of building is not available, we can rely on the basis as floor area. Staff recreation, number of employees. Canteen expenses, number of employees. Creche expenses, number of female employees. And then employers contribution to ESI, employers contribution to ESI, we can take base as wages of each department. If it is not available, then we can rely on the information number of employees. The same thing for employers contribution to PF. So whatever contribution made by the employer, either towards PF or ESI, we will take the basis as wages. If wages is not available, then we can rely on the information number of employees as the basis for a portion. And then stores expenses, we can take the basis as materials consumed by each department. And sundry expenses, we can take basis labor hours. The labor hours is not available, then we can proceed to the direct wages. So by looking at this previous slide and this slide, you will come an idea how the expenses can be distributed or apportioned between the production department or service department. What basis, on what basis we need to redistribute, okay, sorry, distribute. And then look at this problem. By looking at this problem, you can have understanding how to prepare the primary distribution summary. Why limited as 4 departments, A, B, C, and D? See, whenever you are preparing primary distribution summary, you need to first come with a conclusion. which are all the production departments, which are all the service departments, which are all the production departments, which are all the service departments. That conclusion you need to take whenever you are preparing a primary distribution summary. After considering this decision, you need to look into the problem. Is there any materials or wages were given? If materials or wages are given for all the departments, you when you are preparing the primary distribution summary, you need to show only in the service department column the wages and materials, not for all the departments. So two things I shared, that is whenever you are preparing primary distribution summary, you need to identify which are all the production department and service department, and look into the problem. Is there any information relating to materials or wages? That two things only can be shown only in the service departments. So whenever you are preparing primary distribution summary, so as per this problem, ABC are the production department, D is a service department, and these are the expenses given in this. The actual cost for a period are as follows: rent, repairs, depreciation, lighting, insurance of stock, supervision, and power. And we have additional information like this usually. The following data are also available in respect to the four departments, and we have the area square feet, number of workers, value of land, value of stock. So these four additional information we can make use as a basis, suitable basis for the expenses given above, to link with that and to distribute among the production and service department. Say for example, a rent 4,000 is to be apportioned, is to be distributed among production department ABC and service department D. On what basis? Rent is always based on the rent amount is always decided based on the area square feet. Everybody knew about it. So area square feet information, what is given for department A 300, department B 220, department C 180, department D 100. So I can make use of this area square feet information to get the ratio. So how can I get the ratio? So in all these four amounts, we can cancel the 0, 1 0. Okay, then divisible by yes 2. So how can I get the final ratio? 15 is to 11 is to 9 is to 5. So I can decide the rent 4,000 is going to be distributed among A, B, C, and D on the basis of area square feet information. So what is the ratio after looking at this amounts and simplifying this? 15 is to 11 is to 9 is to 5. Okay, so now look at that solution. How I showed the solution. That is, the heading is primary distribution summary. I have the columns like that: particulars, basis, total, under production department A column, B column, C column, under service department D column. So this is the usual format how to prepare the primary distribution summary. So under particulars column, I will write all the expenses which is given in the problem. So I'll write all the expenses from rent to power. I return in the first column. Okay, then the second column is basis, or rent will be apportioned on the basis of area. So what is the basis? What is the ratio? And what is the total of the rent? Okay. Say for example, the first item, rent. I am going to apportion the rent 4,000 on the base of area. What was the ratio we found out? 15 is to 11 is to 9 is to 5. So 15 plus 11 plus 9 plus 5. How much you will get? So you'll get 40. So 15 by 40, 11 by 40, 9 by 40, 5 by 40. Out of 4,000 means you will get this amounts for A, B, C, and D. So are you clear? So the ratio for apportioning the rent 4,000, the entire 4,000 to A, B, C, and D is the 15 is to 11 is to 9 is to 5. So how will get the ratios? So 4,000 into 15 by 40. How you got 40? 15 plus 11 plus 9 plus 5. So you'll get 40. So 15 by 40 for A, 11 by 40 for B, 9 by 40 for C, 5 by 40 for D. Out of 4,000 means you will get these amounts: A 1,500, B 1,100, C 900, D 500. Okay, so I think you understand how to transact the first expenses. The next expenses, repairs. So how we can relate these expenses with the additional information? We have addition from area, number of workers, and the value of plant and value of stock. So only for the plant and machinery we will apply this expenses, repairs, right? So repairs 2400 can be apportioned to A, B, C, D on the basis of value of plant. So I can get the ratio after cancelling three zeros in all amounts. So divisible by 6 means 4 is to 3 is to 2 is to 1. So look at this, how I showed the item. Repairs, the basis is plant value. So 4 is to 3 is to 2 is to 1. And total is 2400. So 2400 into 4 by 10 for A, 3 by 10 for B, 2 by 10 for C, 1 by 10 for D. So 960, 720, 480, 240 out of 2400. So like this only we need to do for other expenses. Now again depreciation, I'll take the basis as value of plant. So value of plant, already we calculate the ratio. So 1350 is the depreciation given. So 1350 into 4 by 10 for A, 3 by 10 for B, 2 by 10 for C, and 1 by 10 for D. Out of 1350 means I'll get these values. 540 for A, 405 for B, 270 for C, 135 for D. Okay, and then I will move on to the next expenses, lighting. So lighting, already I told in the first slide of the base of measurement of overhead expenses. Lighting, if light points basis is not available, then we'll move on to use the floor area. The same thing happened in this problem. For lighting, light points information is not available. So I can make use of the area square feet as is a suitable basis for apportioning lighting 300. So lighting area I put, I area for area I already prepared the ratio 15 is to 11 is to 9 is to 5. So 300 is the lighting charges, 300 into 15 by 40 I'll get 112.5, and 300 into 11 by 40 I'll get 82.5, and 300 into 9 by 40 for C I'll get 67.5. Like that I will do it for D, 300 into 5 by 40. So this is the calculation for lighting charges. Next, I will move on to the next expenses, insurance of stock, 1500. So 1500 insurance of stock I can distribute on the basis of value of stock, which is given in the additional information. So we will simplify these amounts and get that ratio. So I can cancel three zeros in all amounts. And finally, I'll get the ratio for divisible by 3 means 5 is to 3 is to 3, and last one is nil, so I can consider as 0. So look at that, how I did that. Insurance of stock, stock value is the basis. So 5 is to 3 is to 3 is to 0 is the ratio, 1500 is the total. So 1500 into, what is that, 5 by 11, 3 by 11, 3 by 11 for A, B and C, and D is nil. So I'll get this value 750, 450 and 300. So this is the way how I can do the other items also. What is that? Supervision. Supervision, it's always based on the number of workers. Supervisor salary is always based on the number of workers working under the supervisor. So I can take the ratio 36 is to 24 is to 18 is to 12. So I will sim divisible by excuse me, divisible by 6. So 6 is to for 2, the 4 is 2, and then 3 is to 2. So that ratio I'll make use for apportioning the supervision expenses 4500. So 6432. So 4500 into 6 by 15, 4 by 15, 3 by 15, 2 by 15, based on this ratio. Okay, then I'll get these values for A, B, C and D. Next, power. Power, you know very well. Once again, you can look into that. Power, I can make use of kilowatt hours. If kilowatt hours is not available, then I need to look into the HP of plant. So HP of plant and kilowatt hours are also not available. So no other go, I need to look use the value of plant only. So power, plant value 4 is to 3 is to 2 is to 1. Already I calculate the ratio. So 2700 into 4 by 10, 3 by 10, 2 by 10, 1 by 10 for A, B, C, D respectively. So once I completed all the expenses which is given the problem, then I'll get the total of the production departments and service department. So I can write the answer as total overheads as per PDS. So this is the problem model, how you can prepare the primary distribution summary. So look into the problem. First decide what are the production departments, what are the service departments, and look into the problem again. Is there any materials and wages are given? As for this problem, it is not given. If it is given means you need to post only in the service departments. And you need to look into the expenses as per this problem. These are the expenses, and look into the additional information. You can match the additional information which the with the expenses in order to get the ratio. Say for example, rent is the expense to be distributed among A, B, C, D, and the information available as area square feet. So I can relate this area square feet with the rent. Like that, repairs and depreciation I can relate with the value of plant. Lighting, either light points. If light points is not given, then definitely I need to rely on the area square feet. Insurance of stock, value of stock. Supervision, number of workers. Power, if it is not kilowatt hours or HP of plant is not available, then I can take the information of value of plant. So this is the way how I can match the expenses with the additional information as a suitable basis for apportioning the expenses between the production department and service department to prepare the primary distribution summary. So thanks for watching. See you again next video. Subscribe my channel, share and comment with your colleagues or your students or your friends. Thanks for your support. Hit the I button to watch more videos on various concepts of cost accounting.